The mission at the Child Abuse Council is to prevent and treat child abuse. This is done through prevention, child advocacy, and community collaboration. One of prevention's very important pieces is to educate children on their body safety. This starts as young as Head Start with a puppet show where students are taught that their bodies belong to them, that they have a right to say no, that nobody has a right to touch them in a way that makes them feel unsafe or uncomfortable. But it's done in a very child-friendly way with a life-size puppet who talks about what parts of our body are private, what parts of our body are okay to look at. Everybody has a face. Everybody has hands. We can look at people's feet. But when it comes to private parts, and we don't label them, but we talk about the fact that they're the parts of our body that are covered by a bathing suit, that no one has a right to look at or touch them unless they're a baby getting a bath, unless they're a baby needing a diaper changed, or unless they're at a doctor's office for a checkup. We talk about safety rules. We talk about the fact that you have the right to say no. You have the right to get away, and you have the right to tell a grown-up. We talk about what grown-ups you can tell. And we talk about what to do if someone tells us to keep a bad secret. We differentiate between secrets and surprises. Surprises are things that are like secrets that we tell when we want to and they make people happy, like a surprise present for someone. But when it comes to secrets that make us feel unsafe or uncomfortable, we don't keep those kind of secrets. We tell. We say no, we get away, and we tell. By the time a child gets into kindergarten, they receive another puppet show. Very, very similar, except it's added upon a little bit, just a little more age appropriate. First grade through fifth grade, each grade level receives an age-appropriate video talking about the same thing, that you have a body, that you have a right to stay safe, that no one has a right to hurt you or touch you in any way or try to get you to do that to them that makes you feel unsafe or uncomfortable. We repeat the same safety rules. You absolutely have a right to say no, and we practice some assertiveness training on how to say no. We talk about who a person can tell and why that's not tattling or snitching. The difference between tattling and telling is very important in elementary school. We talk a lot about that. We carry on that education when a student gets into middle school. All middle school students receive internet safety training. Now, most kids in middle school know more about the computers and technology than their parents do. But what they don't understand is how dangerous social network sites can become. They don't understand that individuals on the other side that they're talking to might not necessarily be their age. They could be pretending to be their age. They could be the same type of predator that we talked about when they were in elementary school, only now they're going fishing. And many of you have gone fishing before, and you know what you need. You need a rod, a reel, a fishing line, and bait. Predators use bait for kids. And we talk to kids about what kind of bait that might be. That they go into social networking sites pretending to be your friend, pretending to like what you say and do. And when they gain your trust, which is always what they try and do, they may try and ask you to do something that might seem uncomfortable to you. And what you do if that happens. Also, what to do if maybe you made a mistake and sent a picture that you shouldn't have sent. Who do you tell? What should you do? What do you do if you receive some kind of social media message that makes you feel uncomfortable or unsafe? Who could you tell? Children are very confident while they're online, but sometimes they're overconfident and they just don't realize the danger on the other side. Especially when children have been isolated socially due to the pandemic, they're much more ready to talk to individuals that they didn't know. You know the old safety rule, don't talk to people that you don't know? It should be for kids online too, but unfortunately, that's not the way that it is nowadays. And there are social networking sites where some of them, the main goal of them is to talk to strangers. Can you imagine how dangerous that is? for a child who wants to please and make friends, maybe a child who has low self-esteem and is just looking for a friend. That's what we talk about in middle school. By the time a student gets to be in high school, we take that subject a little bit further and we talk about what can actually come out of social networking, being tricked, and we talk about human trafficking. We have very frank discussions about what human trafficking is, that there's labor trafficking and sex trafficking. But in either case, it's very, very dangerous. And most people have the idea, and we talk about this in high school, most people have the idea that kids that are trafficked have been kidnapped. That's rarely the case. Most victims go willingly with the trafficker. The problem is they don't know that the person that they're putting their trust in is a trafficker. And once they're caught, it's very hard to get away. We talk to students about warning signs, what possibly to look for in people that they know and their friends that might mean that they're being trafficked. We talk about ways to prevent trafficking, and that's not by getting a gun and becoming a vigilante or joining law enforcement. It's talking about knowing that there are certain vulnerabilities in young people. One of them is low self-esteem, and predators take advantage of that low self-esteem. So what we talk to high school students about is the best way to prevent somebody from being trafficked is simple. To say nice things to people instead of mean things, to smile at people, to talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to help to make people feel good about themselves so that that other person on the other end of their camera isn't going to be somebody that can trick them and make them feel like they're the only ones that think they're of value. And we've had some very positive responses from students in high school. It's a serious subject, and the main thing we ask them is, tell other people about what you've learned today. Help other people so that we can put an end to human trafficking.